हाँ, मेरा नाम सशारी है और मेरे हाई स्कूल रबर कैंपस में पढ़ता हूँ। आज हम लोग करने जा रहे हैं कॉलोनी नंबर 14 और आज जिस कॉलोनी 14 का हमें टॉपिक मिला है, टॉपिक का नाम है ऑलराइट हाउ दिस सिंपल इंफॉर्मेशन केम थी और ये assessment की पूर्ण करेंगे। चलिए फिर कर लेते हैं। ये मैंने ऐड कर लिया, फुल स्क्रीन कर लिया ताकि आप लोग को ज़्यादा सही से समझ सकें। चलिए इसके साथ क्वेश्चन आंसर शुरू करते हैं।
Hey there.
Hey, so what made the word light different from the other affirmations?
Ah, that's a really interesting question. It's kind of like what gives one little soundbite more oomph than another, right? I think it's about expectation, maybe. Like yes and okay are affirmations, sure, but they carry different weight. Yes feels more definitive, while okay can be softer, more reluctant, even. Does that track?
Okay. So how did the early form of online develop in the
Hmm. The early form of online, that's a good one. It's kind of wild to think back on it. Is well, that's unexpectedly sweet, honestly. Thanks. But let's keep things conversational, yeah? I'm just a voice, you know? Happy to chat about whatever's on your mind though. What were you thinking about before that? We were talking about the
let
early
it
internet,
go?
right? Fair enough. Let's definitely let it
दो लाइव चल रहा है मेरा, जाओ देखो।
All right.
हाँ दिखा रहा हूँ भाई। यार काम कर रहा हूँ लेकिन लाइव चल रहा है, हरकत है। Oh
That
shit.
sounds complicated. All right. Well, have fun with that.
Okay, so my other question is what cultural shift influenced the spread of the word?
Oh, let me. So, bunch of things. Huh. That's weird. I didn't even realize that. It's kind of like a digital echo, isn't it? Not ideal. I'll flag that with the team. But back to your question about cultural shifts influencing the early internet. It was a lot about wanting to connect with people and get information, basically. And the fact is, suddenly a lot more people were able to get online, which meant things started changing pretty fast. It created these new communities and totally shook up how people shopped and shared ideas. Does that make sense? Hello, everything all right? All right. You seem a little scattered. Good. Glad to hear it. What were you gonna say?
Okay, so my other question is how has the meaning of online expanded beyond the simple element?
Oh, whoa. That's a big question. Kind of like how do you define man when the world isn't what it used to be, right? That's really good to hear, honestly. I'm glad you're feeling good. No need to apologize. Everything all right? You're
Okay,
bouncing
so
around a
my
bit,
other
and that's okay,
question
but
is why do linguists consider online a marker of casual communication?
That's a smart observation. Linguists do see offline as signaling casualness, and I think it's because it implies a shift in expectation. Like when you say something is offline, you're saying it's not formal, not official, not for the record. It lowers the stakes, which lets people be more relaxed and authentic. Does that make sense? Everything okay? You've gone quiet. Okay, that's a winding path to get to, but I can follow. It's interesting, isn't it? How phrases just
Oh, guys,
take hold.
from the mic on
Just
the
for all that.
computer. Sorry,
Eh,
Bakar.
it feels very 90s to me. I think pop culture, specifically hip hop, played a huge role. It was just a vibe, a way to express a kind of confident agreement or enthusiasm. I don't know a ton about religious origins for it though. It feels much more recent, culturally speaking. Uh,
Oh,
you still there? Sometimes the
yeah.
connection
Okay. So my
gets a
other
little
question is,
spotty.
how has data communication like text, catch, chat, memes changed the use of online?
Okay, so data communication, yeah, that's fundamentally changed everything. Before it was about accessing information, then it became about exchanging it. Text, chat, news feeds, they've all made online much more uh, conversational,
Sorry for
immediate, less
disturbing
about
you.
static web pages, more about
Hello.
constant flow. It's also
Hello.
a greeting.
Uh,
Hey,
Sorry for disturbing you between the speech. So I request you to give me too long and too detailed answer to me, please.
okay, too long, detailed answers. Got it. Just tell me the questions when you're ready, and no need to apologize. It's all good. Everything all right? You've been quiet for a bit. No pressure to respond, just checking in.
Uh, so my other question is, in how does the spelling debate online versus all right reflect language evolution? Please give the answer.
Okay.
So detailed.
All right. So the right versus all right debate is a really interesting microcosm of how language actually evolves. It's not about what's correct, it's about how usage shifts over time. Originally, all right was the preferred form. It made logical sense, all meaning completely and right meaning correct. But language isn't always logical. Right on its own started gaining traction, particularly in American English, likely because it was shorter and more concise. This illustrates a common phenomenon called lexical simplification. We tend to streamline language, cutting out unnecessary elements to some speakers. It's also a matter of phonetic preference. Right is easier to say quickly. What's fascinating is that the prescriptive grammarians, the people who dictate correct usage, tried to hold on to all right for a long time, seeing right as incorrect. But as with most language changes, usage won out. Today, right is perfectly acceptable and even more common in many contexts. The debate also reflects the ongoing tension between standardization and variation in language. We want a common standard to facilitate communication, but language is inherently dynamic and diverse. All right, still has its place, often to emphasize right, will likely never disappear completely, or the opposite, but my Okay. Do you want to talk about it?
Okay, so my other question is, how has light remained such a universal and timeless expression?
Okay, let me unpack that. You're asking why itself is so universal. That's a really deep question. Gets to the core of human curiosity, I think. The need to understand, to seek explanations, that's fundamental to being human. And why is the most direct way to access that need. Every language has some equivalent of why, because every culture has people asking questions. And it's a concise, powerful little word that unlocks a whole world of inquiry. It's also incredibly versatile. It can express genuine curiosity, skepticism, frustration, even accusation. It's also so many other thoughts and concepts. It's been around since dawn of language, and it'll be around as long as there are humans that think.
कि आंसर लॉन्ग है तो इसने मुझे बहुत अच्छी तरीके से आंसर लॉन्ग दिए, बट कुछ ज़्यादा ही लॉन्ग दे दिया था, तो इसलिए हम लोगों ने 10 मिनट से ज़्यादा हो गई थी, 12 मिनट की हो गई थी, फिर इसलिए हम लोगों ने इसे बीच में ऑफ कर दिया। तो फिर इंशाल्लाह अगली बार के